Hello there, very good morning and welcome to your Primetime Breakfast News Bulletin. I'm Shane Silva. As always, let's start off with a look at your headlines. The accepting of nominations for local government elections begins today. Minister Johnston Fernando states that cement prices will not be increased. And protests launched in India to release Anna Hazare. On to your stories in detail now. Russia's state-run arms exporter says that Sri Lanka has purchased 14 Russian military Mi-17-1 helicopters in the latest deal between the two allies. According to Reuters, the news was confirmed by the general director at Russia's state-run arms exporter Rosoboron Export, Anatoly Isakin. Russia's state-run news agency ITA-TASS said that the choppers built by Russia's Ulan-Ude Aviation Works also makes 4 variants, including military and VIP transport versions. The Reuters news service further states that a corresponding contract for supplying the helicopters will be carried out on account of the Russian state credit given to Sri Lanka by Russia in 2010 for purchasing Russian armaments. However, Russia's state news agency didn't mention the cost of the total deal. Reuters added that the announcement regarding the deal came at a time Sri Lanka discussed oil exploration with Russia's natural gas monopoly Gazprom. When news first contacted Air Force spokesperson Group Captain Andrew Vijayasuriya, he said that he was unaware of such a deal. On to a story that made the headlines this morning now. The handing over of nominations for 23 local government institutions begins today. According to the Election Secretariat, nominations can be handed over to all District Secretariat officers until noon on the 25th of this month. The Election Secretariat noted that only 3 persons with the necessary authority would be permitted to enter the District Secretary's office to hand over the nomination list. Accordingly, nominations will be accepted for 17 municipal councils and 5 urban councils. Deposits in respect of independent parties will be accepted until noon on the 24th. Minister of Cooperatives and Internal Trade Johnston Fernando states that permission will not be granted for an increase in cement prices. The minister noted that 3 companies had already made a request in this regard to the Consumer Affairs Authority. The minister noted that there was no justification to the request and the increase in prices. A group of workers attached to the Collective Trade Union Society in Trincomalee engaged in a strike yesterday. Now, the strike was launched with the intention of persuading authorities to reverse the transfer of the head of their institution. Male and female workers engaged in the strike stated that a female officer at the Trincomalee Cooperative Development Society had been given an arbitrary transfer by the Commissioner of the Cooperatives in the Eastern Province. They pointed out that the Trincomalee Cooperative Development Society had been able to earn profit during the tenure of this officer in question. Our correspondent in the area stated that the public had been inconvenienced as a result of this trade union action. A meeting of a group of Navy officers who had joined the State Administrative Service was held yesterday. It was specially noted that the group had been serving in Jaffna for over a month. The group of Navy officers had been initially assigned to the Jaffna district with the intention of inquiring into and identifying the issues faced by the people in the north. The head of the Presidential Task Force presided at the meeting. Rather than being placed in an office with a load of files, it is far better to have one's initial posting to be interactive with the people of this country as much as possible. It is through this that one can gain experience. You are there to make decisions and not to be restricted by circulars. Do not be afraid to take a decision. Always try to be creative and not be restricted to traditions and norms. We appointed you to Jaffna as you need to function as administrative officers. You need to identify the problems faced in the villagers. You need to identify the problems faced by the country. I know that when you were initially appointed to Jaffna, you were against such appointments. We came and spoke to you and you agreed with our decisions. The fact that you agreed with what we were saying and went is a big achievement. Central Provincial Council member Shantini Kongahage states that political parties seek the participation of women based on the needs of the party. The provincial councillor made this statement at a workshop in Colombo yesterday.
The workshop was organised by the Women's Political Collective. Many times political parties have targeted facilitating the participation of women based on the party's needs. Based on this, there is less than 1% female participation at urban council level, 1% at provincial council level and a very low percentage in parliament. Therefore, it is a question for us as to whether all political parties are being sincere in their commitment to have more female participation in their parties.
Getting off the blocks on your sports news this morning, a special coaching camp was organized yesterday for coaches and athletes in the northern province.